What's up everyone, my name is Josh and this is Josh Unboxed and welcome to the Daily Grind, a video series in which I talk about plays, strategies, just overall sports card talk to help us navigate through these crazy times, this insane rise of the sports card market. Of course, with a lot of people jumping into the hobby, things are out of whack. Things are not what they used to be. So we're going to try our best to kind of take a look at these things, navigate, strategize, and see if we can become much more savvy when it comes to buying into cards. And today, finally, I'm going to talk about baseball and how it is slowly rising. Actually, it's been rising for the past month or so, and just recently, within the last week or two, it's been heating up. I've been wanting to do this video 2 days ago, but with the news of Peyton Manning being named a finalist for the Hall of Fame in 2021, I felt that I wanted to talk about that. And then Markelle Fultz suffering an ACL tear, I wanted to talk about that because I was looking into Markelle Fultz cards. I was investing in Markelle Fultz cards, and I wanted to use that as a cautionary tale to talk about hedging your bets. But today, finally, we're going to talk about baseball, and I want to start off with the big news of today, or if you're watching this on YouTube, the big news of yesterday, because I'm filming it the day before, and that's Francisco Lindor being traded to the Mets. The news started breaking out early in the morning here in the West Coast, around 9 a.m. or so, and then the trade finally got finalized. And when it did, I went on eBay to kind of look at the card prices and see what's happening. I didn't buy into any Lindor cards, but I was curious to see if just that bit of news caused a spike in his cards. And I'm going to show you my screen and I'm going to show you what I found. If you look here, this is all back in December. His cards were selling for under $200 in December. But as soon as the news hit, and you can see right here, this is on January 7th at 9:33 a.m. Pacific time, one sold for $225. Then soon after that, another sold for $299.95, $299, $245. A crazy one, well that's $299, and then a crazy one for $499, and then here's one for $474, best offer accepted. I went and looked at 130 point, and the best offer was at $300. So you can see that within just that short time frame of the news of Lindor being traded to the Mets, New York being a big market, his cards started jumping off. Like they were getting snatched up to the point where it's now, the last sale was valued at $300. So it'll be interesting to see going forward what happens to the rest of his cards. I just find it quite curious, to kind of look into that and just see how news really causes a shift in this reactionary market. With that out of the way, I kind of want to talk about how baseball cards have been heating up. We're going to look at three guys in particular. We're going to look at Tatis, Soto, and Acuna. I know a bunch of content creators are talking about this, or some have, and some probably have done a better job of it than me. But I kind of want to do my own take on it and kind of take a look at it myself. So we're going to look at the three of them. We're going to look at their tops PSA 10, the tops flagship cards, and just seeing how much these cards have been rising the last couple of weeks, or the last few days, or last month. So sharing the screen, we're gonna go with Fernando Tatis first. So these are the last previous sales of his card. The last one here sold at $284.99. We got $249.99, $290, $280. We got $275, $256, $285, $269. So in a sense, Tatis has been going for, I would say on average, around $250, right? So $250 on average, when back in November, you could have got it for way less. We're going to pull up Card Ladder, and we're going to show these Tatis cards. So back in November, these cards were going for around $140, $150, right? You could have gone in at that time. And now, within the last, I would say week, within the last week, it's been jumping up from $212 to $285 on average. We can go look at the previous sales, and you can see here $284, $290, $280, $256, $247. As we scroll down, you can see all that. So Tatis is starting to heat up. And I think with Tatis, his peak back when everything was going up back in August, he reached around $300. I wouldn't be surprised if this card passes that peak. With a bunch of people jumping into the hobby now and how hype is, I can see this card going past that $300 mark. How high it goes, I don't know. I do have one of this PSA 10. It'll be interesting to see. I told myself that if it reached 250, that would be a good point to sell. But with the momentum that's going on right now and us only being in January, there's still room for this card to grow. I feel that this card will reach over 300. I'm looking at maybe 350, maybe even up to 400, possibly. Obviously, this is my opinion, but Fernando Tatis is a lot of people love him. He's a very likable guy, very passionate about the sport. He's a young guy that a lot of people can get behind. So I think that alone it makes his popularity amongst baseball fans, it's pretty high. So I feel Tatis still has a lot of room to grow. Next, I kind of want to look at Juan Soto. I got Juan Soto here. So his 2018 Topps update, we're looking at here, it's going for around $300. 300, 311, 284, 290, 290. So we can probably say that Soto is reaching around 300. We can pull up his card ladder here right now, and you can see here that he's up to around $300. Back at his peak in August, we were at 294. So he is surpassing that peak. And just like with Tatis, I wouldn't be surprised. I think this card will go past the $300 price point. How high it goes, just like with Tatis, I don't know. I have no idea. But I would assume, of course, my opinion again, that it would probably reach 400 as well. He's probably one of the other popular players in baseball. I think there's still room for this card to grow. I don't have any Juan Soto cards. Actually, I'd rather put my money into Tatis over Soto. We're going to look at Acuna next. This is his 2018 Topps update. As you can see here, his cards haven't been increasing as quickly as Soto and Tatis. Here you can see that his cards have been going for around, barely reaching above the $200 price point. If we go to the sales here, you can see that just recently it's starting to go up past 200. Back then you could probably got it for around 150 about a month ago or so. Maybe even less than that. But his cards are starting to slowly rise as well. So the way I kind of think about it is that baseball is heating up. To be honest, I thought that we still had like about a month left to buy into baseball cards before it started really heating up. It's happening a lot sooner than I anticipated. A lot of people are really taking to heart the whole buying into the off season. And I like to kind of attribute it to what's been going on with the basketball market, with how quickly John Morant cards have been going up, Luka, Trey, those three guys, Zion Williamson, those cards have been going up, but they were at a low in October when there was the off season, and people could have bought in then, but no one did. And now that the market started, rising up as we got closer to the season, people realized how much opportunity there was back in October, in early November. So I feel that people are trying not to miss that train. So things are starting earlier than expected, especially with baseball, with Acuna, Soto, and also Tatis. And I like to kind of consider these three like the Luka, Trey, Ja, Zions of the MLB. Young guys, three guys with a lot of hype. So I think because these are three young guys with potential and they have hype behind them, their cards are gonna go up. Obviously, like I said, Acuna is a little slower to catch up to the rest of them, but between these three guys, I see these cards just shooting up. Now, where do we go from here? Well, we can use this as an indicator to look into other guys in baseball, aside from these three that are gonna be probably rising the rest of the baseball card market. Guys like Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, Pete Alonso, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, Kyle Lewis. these type of players are possible guys to look into. Mookie Betts, but Mookie Betts cards have been going up as well. The Mike Trout rookie card has been going up, the tops. But we can use this to look into other opportunities as well. And these 3 cards rising, it's easy to get swept up in the FOMO, but you want to try to make sound decisions. Now, like I said, do I feel these cards have more room to grow? I do. But that's just my personal opinion. But I'm just buying into Tatis. I'd rather put my money into Tatis versus Soto or Acuna, because I believe in Tatis. I love Tatis. So he's the one guy that I'm really behind. The rest, yes, they will go up. And I'm looking into Bo Bichette because I really love Bo Bichette. I think he's a great player. So I bought a couple of his tops PSA 10s, and I bought those about a month ago for around $60 a piece. I got a Pete Alonso PSA 10 for less than $50. So these types of things, you can look into those guys, as I think their markets are still a little slow because all the hype is actually centered around these 3 guys. And especially for new people jumping into baseball trying to flip, because the one thing they'll know, or the players that they'll hear of, that they most likely have heard of, are Tatis, Soto, and Acuna. Unless they get educated into the other players of baseball, that leaves still some opportunity for those other guys. And when those guys start showing out, start playing well, then their card markets will rise as well. But like I said, these are just my thoughts, my opinions. Like I said, I've been looking into baseball lately, but I'm gonna leave you guys with this. All right, now that everybody's looking into baseball, okay, and people are gonna be focusing on Tatis, Soto, Acuna, I'm gonna actually start looking into football now. I'm gonna look into Kyler Murray. I'm gonna look into his cards. So it'll be interesting to see if these cards dip, and when they do, there's a buying opportunity right there. They say zig when everybody zags, or zag when everybody zigs, whichever way it is. Same thing. But there you have it. Baseball's on the rise. Baseball's heating up. Now may be an opportunity to look into football, and that's probably something I'm going to look into for my next video, or for one of the upcoming videos that I'm going to do. And then plus I got a basketball play that I kind of want to talk about as well. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys found some value in this, consider hitting the like button, consider subscribing. And with that being said, my name is Josh, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.